Welcome once again to Coach Damon Floyd Show here on ESPN Cleveland 101.3 and also on the Bear Network. I'm your host, Gary Ownbey. Each week, we'd like to thank our sponsors, Trophies Unlimited on Mimosa Drive and LB Appliance out there on Dirt Key Road. Now, Coach, before we do anything, we'll congratulate you. I know you'd like to deflect credit, which I understand that, on your win, 125th, most wins in Bear history. Jimmy Lowell had 124 in 21 season way back. He was from 1917, a little before our time. And then you come along, you've been here now in your 19th season, a big thing for you. And I know you can't, you've always said, I don't make one carry, I don't make one pass, I don't make one tackle, but the players got to have it. If you look on our, in our end zone, we had all these all-state players over the years, and Mr. Football winners and finalists there, and it takes a lot of great players to have that. But going back to Friday night, we had a win over Tyner. Tyner is historically a very good team, very good solid defense, and I think their defense is good again Friday night. We had a lot more first downs, like 18-9 unofficially. First downs, we doubled them there. We had more yardage. Take away their 170-yard run they had when they had some defensive miscues there, I guess. We held them under 200 yards. But looking at our offense, you know, brand new quarterback, practiced maybe a day or two, Cash Bandy. I thought he did pretty good considering everything. He was 16 of 18 or 16 of 27, I guess it was. He had a couple of picks. One of them you probably shouldn't have thrown. I could have caught that one when he floated one out there, you know. But other than that, I thought he managed the game. I guess that's what you're looking for to start with. But your comments about our offense, and Brayshawn Beard, again, runs really, really hard. 27 carries for him. Almost 100 yards rushing against a tough Tyner line. Your thoughts on the game for Friday night?
You asked me a lot there at one time.
Okay, let's
so
go
we'll go
up.
offense.
Let's talk offense.
We'll go offense. Yeah, Brayshawn ran really hard. You know, I thought Cash, considering he had one practice, literally he had one practice with us, and a lot of people can sit there and say, well, why would you play him if he only had one practice? Well, I feel like that's the best thing going forward for us to play, to get him reps and get better as the season goes along. So that's the decision we went with. Now, he is a kid that's played football for 4 years at the high school level. So he started as a freshman when he was at Notre Dame. I think he played there 2 years, then transferred to Cleveland. Of course, now he's with us. For whatever reasons, that's him and his family's business. But I thought he handled the game really well. Obviously, our playbook was very limited. You know, he made a couple plays where we had some really bad snaps. I think we had 5 or 6 snaps that were either on the ground or over his head, and he still made a play somehow. So that's what you got to do at the quarterback position. He's fit in well, and you know, I hope that obviously we can start expanding the playbook week by week and get to know each other a little better, and the offense improves. We do have to improve on the offensive line still. We got 2 or 3 guys that are playing really good. You know, Timmy Gay went down, our starting right tackle, so he's out this week. Brady Lewis, who finished the game, our tight end, so he's out this week. So right now we're just having some guys that are coming in and out, and it's just hard to get in the flow of the game. And those are excuses. I get it. Everybody deals with that stuff, but that's what we're dealing with. It's reality. So, you know, if we put that other touchdown in, you know, we got on the 1 yard line, we didn't get in. Probably my fault because I'm the one that called that last play, and they were bringing everybody. We should have threw it. You know, we can't block that many, but we're limited on our playbook. So anyway, like I said, I can make a lot of excuses, and I'm not going to sit here and do that. It falls on me to have our team ready. And really, the past 2 weeks, we've not done a good job of handling adversity, and that starts with me. And I didn't handle it well, you know, against McMinn. I lost my composure, tried to do a better job against Tyner, but it starts with me, and I deserve the blame for all the miscues we're making, and we're going to work on it in practice and try to get better.
Well, the play of the game had to be Cash's pass to Tyrese. He's come down the backfield. He's running to the left, almost to the sidelines. I don't know how he even seen Tyrese down there. I don't know how Tyrese caught that ball, but he went high. You know, he's 6'7". He can leap with the best of them. Come down somehow and bounce. And I don't remember what the down situation was there, but that was, if we had a play of the game, that would have been the play of the game because that was a great catch there.
Well, I think that's, if you watch football, and of course I've watched probably a lot more than a lot of people, but that's where games are won and lost. And that's what makes good teams great. And you go back to last year, we had guys that made plays. And it's not always, I mean, you draw it up to every play to be successful. That's not always the case, so it's the playmakers that make the plays. And like I said, Cash has played a lot of football, so he picked it up, eyes downfield, sees Tyrese. He's got athletic ability. That's not something we coach. He catches it one-handed on the sidelines. That's probably a ball that should not be caught, and keeps both feet in bounds. So that, you talk about the wins earlier. That's how you win games, is players make plays. Now, obviously, coaches have to be smart enough to do things the right way schematically and stuff, but our level, and Tyner does a good job too, high school football, we talked about it before, is so sophisticated. The guys are getting coached well. Now it's a matter of who's going to make the tackle, who's going to make somebody miss. That's the difference in winning and losing. Playmakers make plays, and the teams that usually don't they're not the best players on the field. I mean, there's no other way to put it, So, but I'll say this about Tyner. I'm interested to see how they do this season. Defensively, they are massive up front. They have really good, their linebackers I was really impressed with. They're physical, and then on the back end, they're not only athletic, they're long. They got some length to them. So I think Tyner's going to be a really good football team.
And they're playing at McMinn this week, aren't they? Where they're at?
Honestly, I don't even know.
Well, yeah, they better be, because McMinn called and said, I need their lineup. So
okay, yeah. That'll be an interesting game.
And I think it's up there. Well, I know it's McMinn because Tyner doesn't have the field right now.
Yeah, I know they're playing some games at Oodlewall, but honestly, now that we've played them, I don't have a clue what their schedule looks like now.
Another phase we cleaned up quite a bit. Going back to McMinn, 15 penalties, I think, called. We only had 7, I believe it was 7 the other night. And most of those in the first half. So, at the second half, we didn't have, nobody scored the second half for either team. That was not totally unusual, but it was just the way it was there. But we cleaned up that area there, and special teams, also, we need to do some work there. And you mentioned Brady Lewis is out this week. So who's going to be your punter then?
Cash Bandy will punt.
Okay.
Because, if you watch us play, we like to fake them. So we like somebody that can run, throw. So Cash can punt it. I think he's done it in the past. So, yeah, it's just kind of one of those things. When one guy's down, another one goes in. And we've got that at multiple positions right now. And it gives somebody else an opportunity to play. And, that's why they practice.
Well, Brady is out, and Timmy Gay is out. Other than that, I hate to ask this question every week, but are we okay with normal bumps and bruises and all that so far?
Yeah, I think that's the only 2 out that played last week. Well, we actually have some that are out for different reasons, but yes. So we'll go with that as of right now.
Let's take a quick break here for some of our great sponsors. Come back and we'll take a look ahead at Maryville. Friday night at Maryville on the road, our first region game of the year, and also their first region game. We'll talk about that when we return here on ESPN Radio in Cleveland.
Welcome to L&B Appliances, serving the greater Cleveland community for over 30 years. Family owned and locally operated, L&B Appliances specializes in top name brand appliances like Whirlpool, Maytag, and Amana. Stop by the showroom today and speak with our sales and service team about your appliance needs. Financing and free delivery is available for those who qualify. L&B Appliances, large enough to meet all your appliance needs, small enough to appreciate your business.
Welcome back to the Coach Damon Floyd Show. Here's begin to look ahead at the upcoming game Friday night at Maryville. Never an easy place to play. They just don't lose games at home. They don't lose games anywhere hardly. But last year we got them twice, and you know what they're thinking? Revenge time. We beat them in the regular season. We ended their season in the playoffs. I look back, and no team has beaten them twice in the same year since 1986, almost 40 years. Of course, you don't play them twice in the same year usually, unless you got a playoff matchup. Maryville's beaten a lot of teams twice in the same year because they always in the playoffs and get to rehash some of the regular season games. But what do you expect to see out of Maryville? I know Price Davis, that running back, who is really, really good. I hope he's a senior. I didn't check to see what grade he is.
He's a senior, but they always have a good running back.
Yeah, they do.
And there's been multiple years we've played when they've had 2 Division I running backs at the same time, along with Division I receivers, Division I quarterbacks. This year they have a lot of Division I linemen. This will be the biggest line. Well, Bearden may be bigger, but I think they got 2 guys that are over 6'6", around 300, that are both Division I guys.
Wow.
And then their other guys they're not 6'6", but they're 280. So they're very big and they're very physical. Obviously, they're well coached. The quarterback that he started, after us, they end up starting a freshman. He's now a sophomore. Now, he's a really good player. His older brother was a really good quarterback that's playing Division I football now for him. But he's a sophomore, so he's a lot more experienced, athletic. He's a dual threat guy. They're going to put you in some situations where they formation you. And if you don't line up defensively and play your responsibility, then it's going to cost us. They're kind of a triple option. It's not like the old Georgia Tech, Georgia Southern where they're under the center, but they're doing a lot of triple option stuff that's going to keep you very honest on the back end, and it puts you in one-on-one matchups. So if you see a long touchdown by them, it's probably because one of our guys either did not do their assignment or they missed the one-on-one battle, a missed tackle or something like that. So, look, they're going to move the ball. They're probably going to score some points. They're very good offensively, but our kids are going to fight. And that's one thing they have done from day one, or actually from last offseason. They show up, they work hard, and I think you're going to see that Friday. Obviously, offensively, we've got to get going a little bit and help our defense out a little bit, but we have got to play good defensively no matter what to even stay in this game. But we know it's an uphill battle, but I think it's one of my favorite places to go play.
Yeah.
You're the underdog. We ain't got nothing to lose. You walk in there and you see all those banners of the state championships, and we respect the crap out of them. I mean, they're one of the top programs not only in the state and the nation, but that's what we want to do. We want to go play and just see where we stand and give it all we got, and where it falls in the fourth quarter, we'll find out.
Well, you talked about the breakaways, things like that. Defensively, and you're the defensive guru here, you've said in the past, you got to hold your position, not chase the ball. Because sure as you take off chasing the ball where you think it's going to go, they'll misdirect or something like that, and then you are left grabbing for air and stuff like that. But they've had 2 straight shutouts to open the season. What makes their defense so tough?
They're very sound. They're very disciplined. They got a lot of seniors that are playing. They're very well coached, so they understand. They have really, really smart kids, and always have, is they're going to do their job and then trust their teammates to do their job. And that's something, just to be honest, we're learning on the fly with that right now. Mm-hmm. And I think our guys, for the most part, 95% of the time are doing it. But, when you haven't played a lot of Friday nights, then sometimes you get a little tired and you don't think that way, and you think, I'm going to go make a tackle, and then that's where it hurts you.
Yeah.
Like last week, I thought we played defense really well, except for one play. And that was, we're looking at the sidelines, they're lined up, they happen to run a reverse, and they run for 70 yards. Now, I'll give Mason Gordy credit. He chased them down and gave us another play, but
sure did.
They end up scoring. But that's what makes Maryville so good. And look, let's be honest. They have the kids. They have good size. They have good speed. Obviously, their scheme's good. So it's a typical Maryville defense. And I think Knox Central, I think they got 1 first down last week in the whole game. So I don't care who you're playing. When that happens, that's pretty good.
Well, in the 2 games, they've given up 8 first downs total in 2 games. And that's playing some pretty good competition there. Will Jones, apparently, is their quarterback, 19 to 29, 243 yards passing so far, 5 touchdowns. And then Graham Coulter is their backup there. So Jones is he the sophomore this year?
He's a sophomore dual threat. He's good now, but he's still got years to grow, and he's going to be a good player.
Are they more into passing or running, or are they going to take what you give them? Or?
They're going to take what you give them. This is them and Farragut are the 2 most sophisticated teams you see year after year. I mean, it's a lot of formations, it's a lot of shifts, a lot of motions, and the reason they do that is they're trying to create extra gaps and see how you line up. Mm-hmm. So it's real big for our defense to understand where they fit, and it's complicated and it's hard to put in a week. But our guys have adjusted well, but they're so sophisticated. So it's not run or pass, it's all. And it's pre-snap and post-snap. So everybody talks about RPOs this day and age in football. So if you don't line up correctly, they're going to pre-snap RPO you. If you post-snap, once you line up, they know the looks who they're reading on certain plays. So we have to get lined up. We have to play really, really with great leverage, leveraging the ball, and then like I said, make sure you do your job.
Well, look at their year-to-date stats. It looks like they've rushed for about 480 yards and passed for almost 300. So they can hurt you either way there. But like you say, we're going to show up. We're going to fight hard and play hard and everything. It should be fun. Maryville, and they're a very classic program. The things they've done. George Quarles, you knew him. He was a Southern gentleman, I think. And Derek Hunt, who quarterbacked them, I think, through 74 straight wins. I mean, they didn't lose for almost 4 seasons.
Yeah.
I mean, that's incredible to think about that. And they, of course, 17 state championship, and they got those banners displayed there to intimidate you, I think, as much as anything. And but we've been there a lot of times, and they've been here a lot of times. So
we've played them a lot, you know, and played them really a lot of years. We've played them twice
Yeah.
in the regular season and the playoffs. So I know it's a coaching cliche, but it's really not about them. It's about us.
Yeah.
And we need to go up there and execute and do our job and fight like crazy, and that's what we're telling them. Every Friday's a fight. Are we going to show up this Friday and fight? I think so, but we still got to go do it. So it's a physical game. It's why you wear helmet and shoulder pads. So I hope our kids understand that and are ready to go when it's Friday.
it's going to be fun. It's going to be fun. We always enjoy those games there. We'll be at Maryville for a 5:30 pregame show on ESPN Cleveland 101.3 and kick off at 7 o'clock there. We hope you're with us. And I think Maryville streams, I'm not sure what they do there, but we'll talk about that later on. For Coach Floyd, appreciate you being here again today. Until next time, this is Gary Ownbey saying so long for now. God bless and go Bears.